Right. Whoop.
All right. Boop, 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 boop.
All
Okay.
Are we ready? Act natural.
Act natural. You're not even going to notice this. All right. So we're going to get the enrichment packet. But first, since we're in a smaller group, I want us to be able to take the opportunity. Can you close that, Colin? I don't want any distractions. Here you go. I want us to be able to take the opportunity to just have like about, let's say 7 minutes to talk about our break. Hey Siri, can you set a timer for 7 minutes? Hey Siri, can you set a timer for 7 minutes? Are you going to listen to me, Siri? I don't think she wants to listen to me today. That's okay. I'll set it up on my phone. So, who wants to start first and talk to us about their break?
I took a nap.
You took a nap. Okay, let's start this. So, Colin, tell me more about what happened. Beginning, middle, and end.
I said took a nap all day.
So, from the time we got out of school on Friday to yesterday, you've taken a nap.
Yeah.
You were asleep the absolute whole time.
Sometimes.
What else did you do?
I went to my aunt's house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do you have any
I
questions
went to
for
the park.
about his break? Oh, the park. Hey, guys, look at me. He said he went to the park. Don't you want to know more about what he did at the park? Which park?
Seaside.
Seaside. Have you ever been to Seaside yet?
I've been to Seaside a lot of times.
What are... Can you ask Colin, like, what are some of his favorite things?
What are his favorite things to do? What do you like to do?
Monkey bars, the circle thing.
Monkey bars.
Have you been to monkey bars?
I was practicing a lot of times.
Mm-hmm. Hey, y'all see how I'm kind of asking questions about what we did specifically? This is something I want us to start practicing on. Not only whenever we're talking about separate things, like what happened during our break, but I want us to use this whenever we talk about even things about school. So you know how, like, sometimes we'll be able, like, let me use, like, a quick example. This is my pencil makers. Is, like, we'll say, what's 2 plus 2?
4.
It's 4. Hey, Colin, how'd you know it was 4?
Put 2 things together.
Can you show me how?
2.
2. So can you count those?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, try Colin. So, did you see how I asked Colin those questions on how he got to 4? I didn't just ask him what's the answer. I asked him, how did you get there? So these right here, these skills, I want us to be able to build on it because I want us to have more group discussions. Because I feel like I talk too much. I mean, I love talking. I can talk about myself all day. But I want to hear y'all's voices more in the class. And you know why I want us to do that?
Why?
Because when you're doing that, that means I'm not teaching you. That means y'all are teaching yourselves.
That's logic.
That's logic? Yeah. What do you mean by that?
Like, okay, let's say if you're teaching and then you teach yourself, like, another clone, you're going to teach.
Another clone? So
Logic.
you think we're going to be clones of each other? Logic. Hey. But you know what? That's because I want us to be stronger learners. And not only can we use these skills in the classroom, but we can use these skills when we're talking to people and, you know, to make new friends. Because that's how friends are made.
Yeah.
So what else did you do, Colin? I mean, yeah, aren't you interested to know what Colin did? That's my question.
Yes.
Well, Colin, you want to ask Gary some questions about what he did during his break?
Oh, I'm not finished.
You're not finished? Okay, keep going, man.
When I came back from Seaside,
Mm-hmm.
I went to my aunt's house, then I took a nap, then I washed the dishes. Now I'm always getting paid.
You're always getting paid? How much money? Yeah,
and I gave my uncle $5 and he's going to pay me back.
5.
Yeah. It's $5, then he's going to pay me back. I don't know how much.
Mm-hmm. Why do they need $5?
To go to the store.
Oh, okay. That's really cool. Is there anything else you want to share?
Okay.
That's it.
$5 total. Great.
Hey, it's your turn.
I don't want to talk.
You don't want to talk?
Mm-mm.
You want to hear me talk for a little bit?
Yes.
So, on Friday, right after school, don't track me. We always... Yeah, it is tracking. I was tracking. Whenever someone is talking, we need to really be paying attention to looking at them. Because that's how we show we're interested in what they're saying. Yeah. Well, because we don't want people to feel like they're being ignored, right? We want them to feel good when they're talking. No. And look, you're looking at me, so you're helping out with that. Yeah. All right. So I flew back to Dallas, and my parents picked me up. I ate a lot of food. I weighed myself this morning. I gained some weight. That's okay. Yeah.
And when I got back, I ate icy.
An icy? Oh man, I had a lot of ices too, but with my friends, but we call them something different. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about I got to hang out with my parents, and then I drove to Austin. I ate even more food, and I went to so many different parks. I went to a ton of parks with my friends, and we walked around because parks aren't just for kids. Because for me, I like taking long walks at parks and petting people's dogs. And then I got on the plane again, and I went to D.C., and I got with one of my friends, and you know what else we did there? We went to more parks. I love the parks. And we saw that someone was having a birthday party at the park, and I really wanted to go to the Bouncy Castle, but
couldn't.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. So...
It's only for kids. Yay!
I know. I want to be a kid so I can go to the Bouncy Castle again. But, yeah, and then yesterday I went on the train and I got back home. And I'm here with y'all again. That was my break. Did you go to any parks yet?
Yes.
I went to
There's like our
two
birthday
parks.
party.
Winfield,
Seaside. Hey, you went to a birthday party?
Yes.
At the break?
At birthday party, yes.
Whoa. Tell me more about that. Whose birthday was it?
I think it was my mom's friend's son.
Mhm.
5 years old.
Did you eat a lot of cake?
I didn't eat cake.
What?
What do you mean? I only like the cake.
Like the cupcake you had for your birthday?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Cupcakes. I like cupcakes and birthday
I want
cake
pudding
at the
for
same
my
time.
birthday this year.
Well, basically.
I mean, yeah,
cake
pudding.
inside.
Pudding.
I see.
Whoa, there's a lot of talking going on right now. So let's pause. I hear you. I hear you the type of cupcakes like. But I also heard that Colin likes pudding. What kind of pudding?
Vanilla
Vanilla.
and chocolate
And chocolate.
and yogurt.
And yogurt. Do you want it all mixed together?
No.
Okay. How are you going to put the candle in it?
I don't know.
Yeah, you'll figure that out.
And a cupcake.
Whoa, you know what I just realized? You guys are going to be 14.
Don't look at me then.
Whoa. Y'all are getting old. You're going to start getting gray hairs like I do now.
Ew, no.
I have a lot of gray hair.
No.
Mhm.
I want my hair back.
You want your hair black?
Age is aging.
That's what aging is all
I
about.
want my hair red.
You want your hair red? Yeah.
And pink.
You know what, miss? When I went to VS, I saw the Holy Bible. And my mom was like, okay, I'm going to get you for your birthday. I was like, alright.
Have you ever read the Bible?
I read it. Okay, at CVS when we went there for shopping, like, for medicine.
Uh-oh. That was loud.
And
Keep
then
going. Let's finish this off.
We went shopping for medicine, right? And I saw the Holy Bible. It was like a little book, black cover with gold cover that says Holy Bible. And I read it. I read the first page.
Did you know the Bible is the best-selling book of all time? So in the history of every single book that's ever made, that's the one that's been bought the most.
That book always makes me cry.
Okay, yeah.
Hmm?
A lot of things make me cry too.
Talks about
And I like ice cream.
All right, so let's put these thoughts back into our heads. If y'all want to have anything else to say about spring break, we'll have time later. Yeah?
Can you get my phone or do I want ice cream?
For your birthday, Colin, that's like...
I
10
mean, when it
months from
comes
now.
up.
There we
When
go.
it comes up.
Okay, you're going to have to remind me because I'm going to forget. All right,
Put it in your
so
phone.
right here...
It always reminds me.
So, what we're going to be doing here is going through some of the math enrichment packets. You know how we've been going through the weekly quizzes?
Yep, you.
This is basically... Excuse me?
I said yep, you.
What's in your hand?
Oh, it was right here. That means you gave it to me.
Thank you, Colin.
You're welcome.
So, you know how we've been reviewing the weekly quizzes so we can get ready for the SBACs?
Yep, you.
Mr. Geller actually made these spring break packets for all the folks in 7th grade. But you know what? I think these packets are even better than the weekly quizzes because they're going to be able to show us the different things we need to be able to prepare for. We're going to be doing them together, though. Okay?
Wait, a question. It says no calculator.
No calculator.
It says no calculator, but y'all,
That's unfair.
there's different rules for everyone. Y'all are gonna be able to use them.
I
Okay.
hate this packet.
You hate this packet? Yeah. Come on. What's up with the packet?
Look. No calculator. That's unfair. That's unfair.
But did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
You can use them.
Whatever. bro.
Sometimes, you know, the rules change a little bit.
Sean, what do you
So,
want me to do?
What I want us to be able to do is I want us to do all the odd numbers. So you see right here, this column, I want us to be able to do all this, okay? So what I'm going to be looking for, yes, Colin? Yeah. And you put all the parentheses. Exactly. So Colin, you got exactly what I was going to be looking for. I'm going to be checking to see if we're using all the parentheses when we're doing this, okay? So I'm going to give us about 5 minutes to do this. I think that's more than enough time, okay?
Yep.
All right?
Yes.
Let's keep doing this then. Come on here, 5 minutes. Let's see how awesome. Let's get Colin for engagement, immediately jumping into his work.
Right. Hunger. Focus. Math.
Yeah, you got focus, you got that resilience going. Come on.
Miss?
Yeah?
Where's the plus?
Where's the plus?
It's under the equal button.
No.
And I'm up to minus one.
Right here.
Ignore that. Because when it's positive, you just type the number.
Oh.
Yeah, just ignore that part. So thank you, Colin. That's actually a really cool question. I'm gonna +2 for you. Man, you're really like working your brain to know what's been going on.
I'm hungry, but I'm just fighting it.
You're fighting it? Hey, me too, man. Me too.
I didn't eat anything. But I'm dead serious. I didn't eat anything. But it's okay. I'm still learning. 63. Come on, like make it to this entire packet.
I want us to do the odd numbers, okay? So just work this row, okay? Yeah. Okay, dude?
Sorry.
All right.
Still
Let's keep going.
hungry. Alright. I'm doing this one.
Remember, whenever we have positives right here, just ignore them, okay? It's like they don't exist. Okay? You're going to give us a couple more minutes. So no rush. Check your times.
Big number up ahead.
Hey, you got this.
I'm just
That
saying,
big number got nothing.
I'm just warning myself. Big number up ahead. I need 3 more to go. Come on. Fight the hunger. -10. Only 2 more.
Why don't you do one of these while we wait for you?
One more. One more to go.
Am I doing that? Okay. So, track me. Pencil down, track me. Yai places pencil down. Colin is tracking me. So, something that I want us to really consider as we were doing this is what is something y'all noticed with this?
There were like different numbers and different like division, multiplication, subtraction, and add. They're all different, and some has positive, some have negative.
And you know what I heard Colin say right there that was super important? I want you to really pay attention to, Yair. Is he said some of them were positive and some of them were negative. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
So, you know why we pay attention to that?
Come on.
Because that changes how we do our addition, subtraction, and our multiplication and division. Yeah, it actually does. And Colin, right now I can see that Colin is pointing out which ones are positive and which ones are negative. So, track me. So the reason that we do this exercise right here is so we can really focus on those aspects. You're hungry? I'm really sorry. I wish I could help you out, but I don't have any food on me, okay? And I have to see you show some resilience. You got that yet? You got it. So Colin, can you put that down so you can pay attention to me? So what this means in the grand scheme of things is that whenever we're doing other types of operations in 7th grade math, sometimes I've seen that y'all forgot to put the negative or the parentheses. And we really gotta be like super diligent about it. And diligent means like hard paying attention, because that's gonna help us be better mathematicians. So, going on to the next page right here, y'all may turn your page. So Colin is turning his page. Yair is turning his page. I want us to look at the one immediately in the back right here. So these are some word problems. And in these word problems are basically the exact same thing as we were doing over here. But the difference is that they're word problem form. So I want us to be able to go through them and kind of like decipher it and like break it apart. So Colin, put the calculator away. I want us to work on this together. Place it to the side, please.
Probably gonna be difficult without calculating.
It's not going to be super difficult, guys, because we're going to be visualizing what the word problem is saying to us. You know how when we're reading text, we're paying attention to what the author is saying and trying to paint a picture in our head? It's the same thing in math, okay? So yeah, can you read number 1? Colin, track number 1.
Alright, your start.
Can you raise your voice a bit?
Alright, your starts at an
Elevation.
elevation of 12 feet above sea level. Wait, 12 feet above height. Okay, I'll explain it. She descends 43 feet into an underground cave with floor. On the floor, she slips and slides 7 feet further down into the cave. Write any question that can be used to model the situation and evaluate to determine how location below sea level.
So let's annotate what we were reading. So yeah, Colin, Colin, I want us to take about 30 seconds to go over this and annotate some key parts. So Colin's already started. Yair, take your pencil to start that. see. Ooh. Man, Colin's are going to look exactly the same. Same here with Yair. So, Colin, why did you underline? Tell me what you underlined, Colin.
I underlined the numbers because that's the important thing to solve the problem.
Why is that important?
Because we're trying to figure out what's the expression for the sea level.
Mm-hmm. And what's an expression?
Expression means to solve the problem or like a fraction.
Yeah. So like an expression is like the formula. So you see like right here how we have the numbers laid out? That's an expression. So they're asking us to use this information to make one on our own. Okay? Did you catch that, Yair? I see like you didn't underline expression, but we want us to really emphasize that so you know, because the problem is telling you exactly what it wants, okay? Mm-hmm. So like it's if you go to Subway and you say, I want whole wheat bread, they're not going to give you multigrain, right? They're going to give you whole wheat because they're listening to what you want, okay? So this is the problem telling you what you want. Got it, Colin? Okay. So I want us to kind of like play a game. I'm going to read you some of these words because we need to know. I want you to tell me if it goes up or if it goes down. So, track me. Yeah, it's tracking. Colin, turn your body to where you track me. I'm going to read part of the expression, part of the problem, and I want you to point either up or down. So up if it's a number going above, or down if it's a number going below. So 12 feet above sea level. Colin has his finger up. Yair has his finger up. Right, because above means you're climbing. So next one. She descends 43 feet. Yair has his finger down. Colin has his finger down. So, Yair, what does it mean to descend?
Like to fall.
To fall. Colin, did you know that word?
Descend.
Yeah, descend.
Descend to be.
And remember, the author is choosing these words because they're telling us if it's going up or down. So the next one is, she slips and slides 17 feet further down the cave. Up or down?
Down.
Down. That one was pretty easy because it's telling us exactly that she's going down. So the woman, while she's climbing, look at me, she's going up a little bit, then she goes down, she goes further down. So this is when we're going to use the positive and the negative integers. Okay? So I want us to write it. I want us to write on our page the three numbers, 12, 43, and 17, and tell me if they're positive or negative. So take a couple seconds to write that down. Colin's picked up his pencil to write it down. Yeah, I just picked up his pencil. I want you to tell me if they're positive or negative. So can you tell me which one's positive and negative?
P means positive and minus and it's negative.
So I see that we all wrote exactly what it's supposed to be. So all the markings on our page look the same. We have the 12 is positive, it's negative 43 and negative 17. So now as we write it into our expression, something we're going to have to pay attention to is writing it in the right order. So what that means is that that doesn't mean she started at 17 feet and then she goes up 12 and 43. They're telling us the specific order it happened. And that's how we're going to have to write our problem. So which one does she start with?
12.
12. So I want us to grab our pencils and write 12 because we're going to start writing our expression. So 12. And what's the next thing she does?
Go down 43 feet into an underground cave.
Mm-hmm. Write it horizontally, Colin, not up and down, okay? So you know what that's going to look like for me? That means she's going to go down 43 feet. So you see how they're going kind of in order, like a timeline? Okay. So, Colin, Can you fix that right there? And then the last thing she does is she goes down 17 more feet. So do you see how we wrote that expression?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. So what I want us to do is grab our calculators and write down exactly what we saw right here. So write exactly how that is in your calculator. Colin has his calculator out. I also forgot to give out some credits. I'm going to give +2 also to Colin just for like really going into his explanations. And a +2 to Yai because I saw how you immediately went into your work as you were identifying positive or negative. Colin, what you getting? Bathroom pads? Okay,
Oh my god.
you still hungry?
Yes, still fighting.
Still fighting. Hey, keep showing that resilience. You know what's a good thing about this new schedule?
What?
We have lunch earlier.
Everything.
We used to have it at like 11:30.
Yeah.
Now we have it at 11:16.
That's nice.
What time it starts?
11:16.
Nice.
So like 15 minutes earlier. All right. So yeah, what's the answer?
The answer is -48.
-48. And Colin, did you get that?
Uh-huh.
Hey, awesome. You guys are already like so much ahead of me because y'all put the negative there. So -43. That means.
What does it mean? Right? What does it mean?
Nice. -43. So if I'm right here, if this is ground level, that means I'm -43 feet underground. Okay, Colin, you can head out.
I have to be careful. I've never been into a cave before.
Oh,
Never been in a cave.
notepad.
Wait, I think I did. I don't know.
I have been in a cave before.
I really like dark.
It's very dark and very humid. Oh, by the way, so when I went back to Texas, I brought back a lot of food from Texas, and I got some stuff from Buc-ee's.
Never tried stuff from Texas, but I like to try some stuff from different states.
I didn't bring it into school today, but I'll bring it in tomorrow. I forgot it at home, okay?
Sorry.
And we can try some beaver nuggets from Buc-ee's.
I never tried beaver nuggets.
Yeah,
Sounds
it's pretty awesome.
that sounds amazing. Yes.
So what else did you do in your break? Because you told me last night you stayed up till 11 to watch Rick and Morty.
Yeah, that's right. You heard me right.
Mhm.
11 o'clock.
You slept later than I did. I was like, as soon as I got home.
And the first episode I watched was someone with freaking Unity. Yeah, that the ending was messed up. I was just,
Was that the last episode of season 2?
no, that wasn't the one. That was the one where Rick was with Unity, and I was really confused of like, what the? And I saw my favorite episode of all time, Club Rick Cantor of the Rick Kind. That one really got me laughing up.
But I know you didn't watch Rick and Morty all spring break. So what else did you do? Because I wasn't walking around in parks all spring break either. I did all that a lot.
That's right. Okay, this one will like.
You went to a birthday party. You saw Rick and Morty.
This one will blow your mind up. I'm not lying. This one will get your mind.
My mind is ready to be blown. Hit me with it.
Alright, okay, I want Funko Pop hunting, that's right.
Did you spend some of the money you got in your gift card?
Yes.
Okay, so what Funko Pops did you get?
I got some, like, a couple. I got one from the FNAF series, and then I got one from Jurassic Park, and my favorite couple, Rick and Morty. Sadly, they found my favorite, but it's okay, it's okay.
Did you get the limited edition Evil Morty from GameStop?
I didn't find one.
You didn't find it?
I checked the website.
They said
out of stock. I was like, so sad.
yeah, there's a lot of Rick and Morty fans, you
There's
know.
a notepad.
I see that there's a
I
notepad.
got the
Pretty interesting.
I got the Rick and Morty from
I was about to
Dimension.
take it, but I'm not
LSD.
taking it.
Dimension C130.
Did you keep him in the box or did you take him out?
Keep them in the box. Always have to keep in the box. Yep.
Okay, that was a trick question, and you got it right.
Alright.
Alright, so
Back to
let's
math.
move on to number 2. Colin, can you read number 2?
Where you work for activity
Evaluating.
evaluating -18 plus -22.
Mhm.
Subtract 34. Subtract 71. The cells below. Circle the step that made a
I'm
mistake
reading.
and correctly evaluate the expression.
So now, I want us to take a couple seconds to annotate our text. Remember, annotating is going to be the most important thing we do when we get a word problem. Okay, pick up your pencil. Annotate. Let's do Colin immediately jumping into his annotation. Let's see some Colin's doing some nice orientation. So you see the steps that
Yep,
these are the
yeah.
steps, right? So
This is wrong. This is wrong.
how do you know that? No, don't do anything yet. So yeah, you know what stuff we were underlining?
Hey!
Colin. Tell us what's the stuff we were underlining.
Oh, we was underlining the problem that I read and circle the step.
Pause, Colin. Yeah, pick up your pencil so you can underline the things that Colin's telling you. What's the first one again, Colin?
Circle the number that's negative 18 plus 20, negative 22. Subtract 34. Subtract 71.
Mhm.
Then underline, circle the step and underline evaluating.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm. And remember what evaluating means?
Oh, one more thing.
No idea.
The expression. Evaluating means to pay attention
Expression.
to and to analyze. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Expression doesn't mean fractions necessarily. Expression can mean like any of like equations. Okay,
Okay.
just letting you know for the
What's our
future.
class for?
928, and then we're gonna have ELA block.
Wow.
What?
Yes. All right.
Whenever we're the 6th graders.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Wait, how many minus 2s I got? Only one still?
we have like 10ish minutes left.
I said I got only one minus still.
Yeah,
One.
you still have 1 minus 2. Remember, can't get to a minus 6.
I'm still earning that precise.
Okay. Yeah, no, really see the effort you're putting in. You also got a lot of plus 2s. Okay. So what the question is asking is that they actually did. You saw how we did the evaluated expression on our own ups in the previous problem?
Yep.
The question right here is actually telling us
The answer.
how to do it. It's telling us the answer. But there's a mistake there, and we have to look at what the mistake is. So let's think. Something I want us to pay... Pause. Okay, so turn to the first page that we worked on. There's something I want us to be able to pay attention to. So, Yai, turn the page. I want us to see that right above the equations, we have this... we have these words right here. Can you circle this, like, so you can box it kind of like I did right here?
I know all of
What's
these.
your page? To look exactly like mine.
I know all of these words.
So I've mentioned this before, but we're going to be going over this again. This is called PEMDAS. PEMDAS is telling us that whenever we're looking at an expression like these, we need to follow a specific order. And that specific order says we have to solve everything in the parentheses first. So, like over here, you can just look. There's like, it's like there's a problem within a problem. Okay? So it's like if you open up one of those dolls and you open it up and it's like there's another doll inside.
What doll?
It's a Russian nesting doll. Or let me have another example, like Oreos.
Ooh.
Oreos are a cookie, right?
Yeah.
But if you open it up, there's cream inside. So there's like more dessert inside one dessert.
Wait,
Where I
did
get
you
your...
try this? Did you put
Can we pause on that while we work on some math? I don't want us to get distracted
No,
since
that
we have
is
10
not.
minutes left.
I'll talk about later.
Maybe those Russian dolls.
Did you try this? Scrape the cream off and put mayo on.
Colin, that's not about math.
Oops.
We'll talk about that in 10 minutes when class ends. So look,
10
right
minutes?
here, do you see
Wait,
how
that's
there's
almost
a problem within the problem?
Wait, what?
So what's the problem within the problem right here?
We have to find the answer that matches this one right here.
But if we have to do the stuff in the parentheses first, what's the problem in the parentheses?
Negative 22, subtract 34.
Yep. That's the first thing we're going to be doing, okay? But let's not do that yet. I want to review the other stuff. Then we have to do exponents. There's no exponents here, so we're just going to ignore that. And then we're going to multiply and divide first.
Yes.
And then add and subtract. Yep, that's what PEMDAS says. Multiply, divide, then add and subtract. So I want us to think. We don't actually have to solve anything. We just have to double check our work. So I want us to write PEMDAS like this. It has to be up and down. So write this right next to it so we can have a reminder what to do. So yeah, turn the page back to the word problems. Colin is writing PEMDAS on his page. Yeah, he's turning his page.
PM.
PEMDAS.
Oh, money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
D.
Okay, so let's look at step 1. Step 1.
It matches.
It matches? Okay, so what's the first step? What's the first thing she has to solve?
P.
The P. The P is the parentheses. So let's look. Let's underline the parentheses part on step 1. Let's underline it. Yeah, underline the parentheses part.
Oh.
All right. So, and let's go to step 2 and underline the next parentheses. Did she do parentheses first?
Wait, what?
Did she solve everything in the parentheses first?
No.
Why do you say no?
Because she's missing negative 22, right?
But doesn't that mean she solved it? Put this in your calculator and see if that what you get in your calculator matches.
But this?
Yeah, everything in the parentheses.
That's what.
Remember, she did the math for us. Okay, awesome. Does that match what it is in step 2?
Yes.
Yes. So you know what that means?
Right.
She did the math right.
Right.
So okay, so step 1 and step 2 are done. She did those right. Okay.
Yay.
You were supposed to do just that. So negative 22 plus.
This is
Negative
a sad
34.
day.
We might not have recess.
But let's not think about that right now. Do you see this number? Does it match this?
Okay.
Do they match? Okay, never mind. They do match. Okay. So that means she did her math right. So step 1 and step 2 are right.
And 3.
So let's cross it out on the side, step 1 and step 2. Because we know that's not going to be the answer because she did those correctly. So the next thing about PEMDAS, we don't have an exponent, so we're not even going to be paying attention to that. But we're going to see if she did multiplication or division first. So if we look over here, did she do any, is there any multiplication or division done?
No.
No, not at all. So what does that mean she has to do next? The A and the S.
A.
She has to add first. So let's see if she's adding first. She has to add all the parentheses first. Is she doing that?
No. There's only 2 parentheses, and that's 56 plus negative 71.
So let's add these parts right here.
What parts?
Okay, I'm back. What is it?
So she's supposed to add these all together. So add them all together. So put everything like this in your...
And number 3?
Yeah, put everything in number 3 in your calculator.
3, subtract 18, plus 56. Oops. Nope. She's raw.
She is wrong. So, which step are we going to circle? Circle 5, yeah. Circle 5 and 4 and 3. Because if she messed up right here, that means the rest is messed up, right? Does that make sense? We caught her mistake. And that's okay, because sometimes we make mistakes whenever we're doing math. Like how we make mistakes in reading and we got to be able to correct ourselves.
Yappy, 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 yo.
Okay. So now let's move on to number 3. Does that make sense? Do we have any more questions for number 2?
Nope.
No? All right. Let's immediately jump in and annotate number 3.
Go for it.
All right. Yeah, can you read number 3?
Sure. Bobby starts off the day with $45. He spends $38 on headphones and then loses a beat.
A bet. It's supposed to be bet. They made a mistake.
Where?
Come on.
A bet to his friend for $25. Right? And the guy was in every
Expression.
an expression that represents this situation.
All right. So, yeah, what are some of the things you underline?
The thing I underlined is 45, 38. Well, not headphones, excuse me. Sorry. $25. Every expression represents this situation.
Mm-hmm. So, Colin, does that sound like what you underlined as well? Okay. So something else I underlined that I don't see in y'all's page, but it's okay because we're learning some of the annotation tools, is I also underlined starts off. So underline starts off as well.
Come on.
And the next thing I underlined is spends, which is next to 38. Okay, yeah, you saw that. And then loses.
Oh.
Loses. You know why I say that? Because you remember how in the first problem we say like above or descend?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the above and descends in this one. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, what's happening is that we're talking about money. And when we talk about money, sometimes we get money, sometimes we spend money, and sometimes we just have money.
And save money.
And we save money, exactly. So this is going to tell us, again, if it's positive or negative.
If you save money, you're going to have a lot of money. Like, if you have like 3 numbers right now.
Mm-hmm. But you see, I'm going to give y'all the first one, and then we're going to do it again, where we're going to go point up or down, okay? So come put that down so you can track me. All right. So, okay. Put it down.
See? This is a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. So, let's think. When we say starts off, that means Bobby has $45 right here in his hand. That's actually positive. Because that's how much he has, okay? So just know, 45 is positive. So let's write 45 and just put a positive at the front. Put it right there on the page. And while we're at it, put the rest of the numbers. And we're going to see if it's positive or negative.
Come on.
So let's talk. If he spends $38, is that positive or negative? Show me by your hands.
Negative.
It's negative. All right, write that onto page 2. Colin's written negative in front of it on 38 on the page. The next one is he loses a bet.
Oh.
For $25. Is that positive or negative?
Negative.
Loses a bet. Negative. So you both got it right. It's negative. Yeah, I need you to write negative in front of these 2. Exactly. It's negative. And you know why it's negative? Because
this one went down, and this loses a bet.
Mm-hmm. When you lose a bet, it's like me going, "Hey, Aid, I bet you if you eat this pizza, I'll give you $1. Let's bet on that." And then you eat it, and I'm like, "Oh crap, I got to give you $1." See, that's what it is. So we got to visualize that. So next thing I want us to do is write down the expression, and remember, it has to be in order. Okay, so make sure your expression looks just like mine. Yeah, pick up your pencil. Immediately write what I have on my page. Pass it to Colin for his engagement. So very quickly, I want us to write this down on a calculator. Oh, Colin, you're missing something. This is a naked number. What's in front of
I
it?
know.
Okay. Naked. Okay, come on. All right. Colin, that's right. Put in your calculator.
I'm so fast at this.
How you go back?
You put the arrow, and then you hit delete.
-18.
-18. So write equals.
In what?
You have to put this in parentheses. Remember? To put -25. Remember, when you put parentheses, that's what is the number answer? Write it down on your page. So your answer is -18.
We got 4 more minutes.
No, actually, class is over. So I want us to put this over and put these packets in our binders. You're sad about it? No? Okay.
That was
Here, we got
just,
that quick?
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I
think so,
just
too.
farted my hunger over that one.
Yeah, you packed up. Put this in your binder. So, Colin, fist to 5. How did you feel about what we just did?
I felt, oh my God, every time. That calculator 5.
All right. So 5. Why do you feel 5?
Because it was helping us and helping us solve the problem.
You stay here, you signature rat.
Did you feel that it was too hard or too easy?
I'm gonna give that
Some was
4
easy,
because
some
even
was
my
hard.
hungry shit, I farted at 5.
So yeah, yeah, you showed a ton of
Computer.
resilience. Hey, yeah,
What?
you forgot we were recording. Did you see how you acted completely natural this whole
Put
time?
it like
Yes.
And you didn't even notice.
I was not even looking at the camera.